During the early days of lockdown, one of the things that we decided to do was to play Monopoly. Now, Monopoly, if you don't know, it's a board game where the ultimate motive is to make the most amount of money through selling or buying of properties, etc. Now, the game, by the virtue of its name, is set up in a way that it favors the person who has the most amount of money. So the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. And this is not just a saying. You can take this concept and apply it to any scenario in this world and it will still work. So if I put it simply, it means that the world isn't fair. But if you want me to put it scientifically, it is based on something called as the 80-20 rule or the Pareto's principle. And that is what we are going to discuss in today's episode of Perfectly Average. Before we get to the actual Pareto's principle, I'd like to explain a beautiful law that I really like. It's called the Zipf's law. It's spelled ZIPF. Now, Zipf's law is a language pattern law, and it says that the most used word in any language is used twice more often than the second most used word in that language. Let me explain. It might be getting a little confusing. So, like, the is the most used word in English, and of is the second most used word in English. So, the is used twice more often than of. Similarly, and is the third most used word in that language. So, the is used thrice more often than and. So, if you want to basically visualize the Zipf's law, you can imagine a downward slope of a graph. I'll come back to why this is important. Just remember that Zipf's law is universally applicable and it's basically a discrete form of the Pareto's principle. A good way to understand the Zipf's law is by using the principle of least effort. Now, if you've noticed that whenever you're talking to some friend or some colleague, if it's a normal or a casual conversation, you'd use very short words, short sentences to convey your message or your emotion. You'd not use very highly sophisticated big words to influence them, right? But if it's like a presentation, if it's very sensitive or important information, then the other person also wants specificity, and because of that you're required to use longer sentences with broader words, or like a very specific word to convey a very specific information or emotion. And even if you look at the probability of you typing a shorter word versus a longer word on a keyboard, if you're typing randomly, it's much easier to type a shorter word on a keyboard than to type a longer word, right? So basically, the probability of you typing a very long word is exponentially small to the probability of you typing a very short word. Now, you must be getting a little confused as to all the laws and principles that I'm stating, but don't worry, I'm coming to the point. The Pareto's principle or the 80-20 rule is basically a law that says that everything in this world is divided into two sections. Those two sections are not divided 50% each, but 80% and 20%. I'll explain to you what that means. Like, for example, 20% of the population of the world control 80% of the wealth of this world. Similarly, 20% of the drivers on the road cause 80% of the accidents. Similarly, 20% of the employees in a company are responsible for 80% of the results. 20% of the products that a company makes are responsible for the 80% sales of the company. So this Pareto principle is universally applicable. Like, 20% for 20% effort, you get 80% of value. That's what is called as beginner's luck, because you only have to make 20% effort to get 80% value out of the system. So all of this to say that anything in this world is dependent on those 20%, because those 20% of things are responsible for 80% of the things. And this is why the title of this podcast is The World Isn't Fair, because if the world would have been fair, then every one unit of thing would be responsible for 1 unit of result, but it is not so. Now, all of this emerges from something known as the preferential attachment process. I know I'm throwing out a lot of terminology today, but please bear with me. It's also known as the snowball effect. Like a big snowball would become bigger much more quickly than a small snowball would become bigger. So, this is the reason for all the disproportion in this world, the disproportionate amount of economy, the disproportionate amount of assets, the disproportionate amount of power the world has. Like the rich countries get even more richer day by day, and the poor countries get even more poorer. So, this disproportion is a result of this preferential attachment. Now, what is this preferential attachment that we're talking about? I'll give you an example to explain what this means. Now, for example, you want to invest in something. You have some money and you want to invest it in something. You have two options. One is a multimillionaire who has been in the industry for over 30 years, and one is a startup that has started 2 months back. Now, if you're a visionary, then you might prefer the startup over the multi billionaire. But let's take the example of a common man. I want to make profits, and I would more likely to go I would more likely go to the person who has made profits over a consistent period of time. He has some credentials backing his power to make my money grow. So you see that we tend to give more money to the person who already has more money. You understand that we are preferring something that is already disproportionate to make it even more disproportionate. We are the snow that are making the big snowball even bigger and not attaching ourselves to the smaller snowball. So, to explain this preferential attachment, an experiment was conducted by some scientists on the most popular music and ebook websites. So, what they did was that they manipulated the download count of the songs and ebooks. So they made a not so popular ebook or a song look like as if it was the top seller. So what they found out that the actual download count of those books and that music went up exponentially, proving that the people did not really care about the actual book or the music as much as they valued the acceptability of that book or music. So basically, proving that flow creates more flow, or the trend creates some bigger trend. So the graph went exponentially high. Well, all of this is very good to know and all, but why is it important? Why are we discussing it? Well, it's because we can use this disproportion to our advantage. We can use this 80-20 divide to maximize the value that we get from our efforts. Like, for example, to get ahead of 80% of the class, you only need to work 20% harder. Similarly, to get fitter than 80% of the population, you only have to curb your eating habits 20%. So you can use this concept anywhere and everywhere in this world and reap the benefits from it. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.